What's up, YouTube? I just want to quickly say, if you're looking how to quit smoking weed and you want some advice on that, watch How to Quit Smoking Weed. The videos that I made, I think 4, 5, and 6 have the most specific advice on how to quit. Everything else is just kind of other good advice, other good stuff you'd want to hear. But in this video, I just want to kind of say that smoking weed is fake. And if you're out there and if you're all for smoking weed, definitely listen to this. It might blow your mind a little bit. I just wanted to say smoking weed is fake, and your whole little world is fake. Everything that you've built up to is fake. It's like a video game. Okay, so like let's say you got really good at this video game. Like you got really good at playing this video game, and all you do is play this video game. Like say it was Diablo. I used to play Diablo. You can get levels up. You start off on level 1. It takes like a year, but you can get all the way up to like level 90. And then that's like the ultimate, and by that time you're like big time, but you have to invest so much time just to get to that level. You know what I mean? So, or like a video game is a prime example. You're spending all this time in this video game, but in real life, you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there in your room or wherever you're at. And life is going on without you. There's 10-year-old kids out there riding bikes and playing and having fun and meeting girls, and even 10-year-old kids, 12-year-old, 13-year-old kids going to the mall with their girlfriend, whatever. But here you are living this fake fantasy life. You're not even in reality. You're in fantasy land. Smoking weed is fake. To me, it's like when you smoke a blunt, like when you smoke a joint or rip a bong, whatever. When you smoke some weed, it's like it paints a really pretty picture about 2 feet in front of your face, and you can't see anything but that picture. Behind that picture is reality in real life. But you keep yourself high, you keep redoing your high, keeping yourself high every day you get high, and you never get to see reality. You don't know what reality is. So when I tell people you don't even know what it's like to live, you don't even know what it's like to be sober, you don't even know what it's like to be in this life, in this world, because you're freaking off somewhere else. It's like you went on vacation years ago and never came back, and life is still going on here without you. You know, like let's say you started smoking weed when you were 15 years old. It's like you went on vacation back when you were 15, and you've been gone ever since, and life's been going on without you. Um, Life's just been going on without you. You know, the girl that you really liked, she went off and got married to some dude and has a kid with that guy. You know, just like all this stuff is going on while you're out there freaking not even on vacation in a nice place. You're just freaking in your own head. It's like you're living in your head, you know? Like when I was smoking bud, I remember I was like someone in the pot community. They're like, dude, he can roll the tightest blunts, and I was such a good roll. I'm so good at rolling joints and blunts. I can roll and look like cigarettes. It looks so perfect, right? But that's fake. That's like all my years to put into weed, and that's all I could do. Not even any of my friends could do that, and they've been smoking for years. So like I was lucky enough to have one thing that I can show for all that time, but no one else can. So suppose I pretend I couldn't even roll blunts, you know, because most people can't. You got nothing. It's like all that time and effort put into weed and nothing. You know what I mean? Like yeah, like maybe you're enjoying. Maybe you're like, let's say you just smoked a blunt. You feel happy and great right now. You're walking down the street. No one else can see all the effort and time and hard work you put into smoking weed. No one else can see what a good time you're having. What they see is, and trust me, everyone can see right through you. What they see is some sad waste of potential. Like there goes a young man who is obviously high right now. He looks like he gave up. He looks like he could have been someone, but it currently isn't doing anything. It's like 2 in the afternoon and he's walking around. He probably doesn't even have a freaking bike. You know what I mean? Like um and and you keep like all that. It's kind of like video games, like all that hard work in your video games, but none of that stuff really exists. So all that time you spent off in Fantasyland, and anything you do in Fantasyland doesn't count in real life. So all that stuff, all those good times you have, they're all in your head. It's like you live in your head when you smoke weed. It's like you live in your head, basically. When you do drugs, you live in your head. Seriously. Like heroin. Let's use heroin for an example. If you slam some heroin and you're on the floor for like the next 8 hours, just like on the floor, hunched up in the corner of the ground, just laying there, sleeping. Looks like you're sleeping, but you're really high and off in your head somewhere and having some beautiful, beautiful like dreams and crap. You wake up and you feel like you're actually doing it. You're like, oh man, it was so great, da 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 da. But in real life, you were laying on the bathroom floor in the park. You're at the park on this dirty bathroom floor in the freaking stall with a rubber band wrapped around your freaking bicep while you passed out on the ground. That's real life. In real life, you're a freaking junkie and you're not doing anything. But in your own head, you got up and went on a rainbow and freaking did a somersault, you know what I mean, with a freaking unicorn, and you had an amazing time, you know? Like, that's just an extreme example, but for weed, it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, you're smoking weed, but you're not doing anything. So in my opinion, it's like kind of like running on a treadmill. Only running on a treadmill is good, so in a way, it's not a really good example, but it is a good example. Check it. It's like when you run. Let's say you're running on the street, right? You're running on the street. For all this effort you do, you have something to show for it. Okay, I just ran 10 steps. I just got 10 steps further. You know, I progressed 10 steps. You can look back and you're 10 steps closer forward than you were before. So everything you do, you have something to show for it. You get credit for everything you do, and people can see it. It's like, it's not fake. It's not in your head. It's really going on. You know, like people can see this stuff that you're doing. So the more you run, you get credit for every step you take. Okay, and people can see every step you take. Not that you're looking for them, not that you're trying to be accepted or anything, but it's actually real. It's something that you can see. It really exists. Now, to me, smoking weed is like running on a treadmill. You're busy all day long. You're doing stuff all freaking day long. You're off in your head, high, all the stuff all the effort you put into getting high, like waking up, finding someone to smoke with, scrounging up all this money to get high, finding the guy who has the weed, finding the guy who has the weed, waiting for him to get off of work, going down to his house, picking up the weed, riding your stupid little beat up bike back to your friend's house, rolling it up, smoking half of it, watching Comedy Central, freaking waiting for so-and-so to come over, smoke the rest of it, da-da-da-da-da. The whole day is gone. You've been working all day. You've been running just like this, but you're in the same damn spot as you were when you started. You didn't do anything. None of that existed. Freaking, if anyone says, what did you do today? If you're not embarrassed to tell them, they'd be like, damn, that sounds like a freaking waste of your day. You know what I mean? While sober people are off making stuff of their time, doing stuff with their life. In one day time, I could drive 5 states away. You know what I mean? I could drive halfway across the country or something. You know what I mean? In one day's time was a probably do nothing. You know what I mean? In one day's time, you could freaking go get your driver's license, go get your business license, whatever. You can go exercise like crazy, go play hockey, go take your girl on a date, whatever. You can do all kinds of different things. But if you're off living in your head, none of it, you think you're busy all day. I remember this one girl, she said she was smoking weed every day and drinking just like me and at the time. And I remember she said, someone said something about new friends. And then she said, I don't have time for new friends. I'm too busy. Dude, she was, like at the time, it was like summer. She wasn't going to school. She didn't have a job yet or anything like that. And all she was doing was smoking weed and getting high. And she said she's too busy for new friends. I know exactly what she meant. You know what I mean? I know exactly what she meant. She thinks she's busy because, yeah, let's say she goes to bed at 3 in the morning because she's out all night kicking it. She wakes up at 3 in the morning, or she goes to bed at 3 in the morning, wakes up at like 11 a.m. She feels like she's in a hurry because she woke up late, you know? By the time she gets dressed and everything, it's like 1 p.m., you know, and then the day just started. And then so-and-so called, hey, you want to smoke weed? And then you go over there, and by the time you know it, the day's over. And then all you do is kind of like meet up with your friends and get high every day. And it really feels like you're busy. It feels like stuff's going on and you're too busy to do certain things. But really, you're doing nothing. Like, what did you do? Oh, I met up with so-and-so and smoked some weed. That was not only a luxury, and not only was it unnecessary, but you really didn't do anything, get anything done. It's a waste of time. And not only that, it doesn't even exist. It's like, it's fake. You know what I mean? And also, I'll just throw this out there, like, smoking weed is so stupid. It's like you're obsessed over this plant. You know what I mean? And not to sound, I'm not a homophobe or I don't hate, you know, whatever, but it's kind of gay. Smoking weed is kind of gay because, like, you meet up with all these dudes for one. You meet up with a whole bunch of dudes. It's mostly dudes. The ratio is like mostly dudes. If there's a girl there, she's usually going out with some guy, or she's a tramp and she's going out screwing a couple guys at once, whatever. Usually a bunch of dudes and all meet up in one place, sit down, while two guys play video games and everyone else watches and everyone smokes weed and just watches the freaking thing. But it's gay because not only because it's a bunch of dudes most of the time and you're not really getting out there and doing your thing and meeting good people, meeting good opposite sexes and potential, you know, relationships. Not only is it gay in that way, but it's gay because you're like obsessed over a plant, man. That's like a girl's thing. That's like a female's thing. Like it's like, oh, it's a plant. It's a plant. That's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of a stupid thought of my own, but it's kind of gay. Like you're obsessed over a plant. Like, would you, if it weren't getting you high, would you be obsessed over a plant? That's so stupid. You know what I mean? It's like you're out there planting little flowers. Like, ooh, I like flowers now too. But anyway, um, dude, man, I forgot what I was gonna say. But like 10-year-old little kids have it better than a pothead. 10-year-old kids have a better idea of what life is and what it should be like, and they enjoy life more than true potheads. Like when I was 10, me and my friend Nick down the street, we would get on our bikes and go ride our bikes seriously like 15 miles away in the summer. We'd ride our bikes like 10, I'm sorry, like almost 10 miles away, like 8, 9, 10 miles away to this one theater that was really far away. At the age of 10, 10 years old, we'd go ride our bikes to this theater. From there, we'd go ride to these mountains, go on this bike trail, and just do all this stuff, have a journey, la 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 la. I'm not kidding you, we would meet girls sometimes, like when we got 11, 12, 13, we would stop by the mall and meet girls and walk away with phone numbers, and it was like a journey. Like, dude, we would have never met those girls if we didn't go do all this. We would talk about that. We would walk home from like 8, 10 miles away, and just it was fun walking home. We would hop walls, go randomly, spontaneously do things. And that was me at the age of 10. And me at the age of 15, 16, here I am in someone's garage or someone's like back room, like a straight loser, just smoking weed, watching TV. Everyone is quiet. And like, here goes a prime example, okay? I remember I used to go to my friend's house. I'll just call my friend Jason. I would go to my friend Jason's house, right? And he had a cool house with like he had a cool room. He got couches in his room, so it's like an oval shaped couches going across so we could all sit and face each other. That's how many people would be in his room at all times. Anyway, go to Jason's house. Be a bunch of dudes in there. And he started making friends with new guys from work that none of us knew too well, and I would be sitting near them, and they're all quiet and weird and crap. But anyway, here goes my point. I remember I would go to Jason's house, and I would sit there, and right when I got there, I remember thinking how boring and sad it was. I'm like, this sucks, because they're like playing video games, but it's only 2 players, and there's like 10 of us in his room, around 10 of us in his room. And only 2 people are playing, and the rest of us are watching. Do you know how sad that is to watch someone play video games? I can't stand that. Anyway, so we're all sitting there watching them play video games, waiting for the weed to get here. So I'll sit there for like an hour, right? Bored out of my mind. This sucks. This sucks so bad. But then the weed comes, and I'll smoke some weed. And by the way, I'm not talking to anyone on my left or right because I don't know them. You know what I mean? It's just like his new friends. And then the weed comes, I smoke some weed, and all of a sudden, I'm fine. And it's kind of fun now. So what happened? Okay, reality is Jason's room sucks and it's boring. But then I smoke weed, go off into fantasy land, and now it's not so bad because I'm like entertaining myself in my head. I'm like high in my head. I'm living in my head now. I left his bedroom, went inside my head, and I'm freaking like a psycho. I'm like sitting there like, and if someone didn't know any better and saw me laughing, like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't know that I'm in my head, and I think it counts, but it doesn't. They're like, this guy is living in his head. He's freaking not really doing anything. He's sitting down in the bedroom for 5 hours straight, entertained because he's freaking high, and he's living inside of his head. It's fake. Weed is fake. I painted the pretty picture 2 feet in front of me. I couldn't see what was behind that picture, which was Jason's super duper boring room. And by the way, after I got sober, and I used to go to Jason's all the time, after I got sober, I tried going over there just to kick it and hang out, and it would be with all these people that I actually know, and we weren't playing video games. I can't even sit there for like 20 minutes. It was so boring. And I feel like, not to brag, but I feel like I feel like a winner, and I feel like they're a bunch of losers. And I feel bad saying that, but I'd be like, dude, look at how beautiful it is outside. Let's go somewhere. I'll freaking, on me. No one has to pay for gas. We'll go somewhere. I'll pay for everything. They're like, no, I just want to sit here and blaze. All right, gotta go.